about how much and how many, right? So as I said, we use how much to ask questions, and we also use how many to ask questions. But these questions are very different because we have to use how much to ask questions about uncountable nouns, and how many to ask questions using countable nouns. So every time you want to know the quantity of something, you need to ask how much or how many, right? So here in the example, I have how much sugar do you have in your coffee, right? So here I have sugar. Sugar is an uncountable noun, right? So to know the quantity of sugar, I have to ask how much, right? And below we have how many pens do you have in your bag. Pen, as you can see, it's a countable noun, right? I can say 1 pen, 2 pens. So we need to ask with how many. So remember, for the quantity of uncountable things, we use how much. And the quantity of countable things, we say how many, right? It's pretty simple, right? It's for anything, right? Anything that's uncountable, how much? Anything that's countable, how many, right? So we can also practice this, okay? We can practice, right? Because we need practice to understand this more. It's important to practice, okay? So here in this part, we have some sentences, and let's complete with how much or how many, okay? So number 1 is cars. We are going to talk about cars. In number 2, let's talk about sugar. In number 3, let's talk about milk. That's a liquid. And number 3, let's talk about pictures, okay? So pause the video now. Which do you have to complete in these questions? With how much or how many? How can you complete these questions? Think about it and take notes. Let's see if you are correct. So the first sentence is, how much or how many cars are there? So remember that cars are countable, right? So we need to complete with how many, okay? Number 2, how much or how many sugar is there? Here we have sugar, right? So even though we have here 3 spoons of sugar, 3 spoonfuls of sugar, sugar is uncountable. So the correct is how much, right? We have to know the quantity of sugar, so we use how much. Now let's know the quantity of milk. How much or how many milk is there? And we need to complete with how much, because milk is uncountable, right? Remember that every liquid is uncountable, okay? Continuing, we have here pictures, right? Pictures we put on the wall. So we have here how much or how many pictures are there. Remember to complete with how many, because pictures are countable, okay? So this part is pretty simple. You just have to see if the noun is countable or uncountable.